UFC 313 just got announced, and it's going to be Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. The co-main event is going to be Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and early predictions on this card. Now, starting with the Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. I do believe Ankalaev will beat Alex Pereira. And I also think I'm prepared already for this fight to be a very, very boring fight. Now, that being said, Alex Pereira is a mastermind. I'm going to call him a genius / devious man, because Alex Pereira was supposed to fight Ankalaev last year, but they didn't fight because Ankalaev didn't want to fight during Ramadan. And guess at what time Ankalaev is fighting this year? Yes, during Ramadan. And not only that, I'm pretty sure Alex Pereira knew this fight was going to happen way before Ankalaev did. And it's during March. That is around the corner. We're a week away from February. This is around the freaking corner. Alex Pereira is kind of fucked up for doing this, I'm not gonna lie, but he completely understands that this is his hardest matchup in the division, and that's why he's doing all these steps to make sure Ankalaev, I guess it's his weakest possible for him to beat him. And that's not an excuse. I'm just being for real. With everything that's been accumulating the past few days, months actually, we know he's just been trying to fight him at the perfect time, basically, and this is the perfect time to be fighting Ankalaev. Now, with that being said, I believe Ankalaev will hold him against the cage, maybe get a few takedowns, but I see Ankalaev holding him against the cage like he did against Rakic at the later rounds. That's what I believe he's gonna do. I rewatched the fight with Rakic that Ankalaev just had, and I do not suggest Ankalaev to stand with Alex Pereira. I don't like how Ankalaev lunges with his left hand. He lunges a lot to the right with his left hand. I absolutely hate that. And Alex Pereira is very good fighting in the back foot. Very, very good. And he's very lengthy. So Ankalaev is going to have to do a few of those lunges. And I see Alex Pereira countering that with a left hook, man, and I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. And I feel like Ankalaev is very, very predictable in the later rounds. He does this like he does this movement. He goes down twice and then throws a left or right hand right after he does that. He's very, very predictable in the first few rounds. I believe he should just switch it up and just go for a takedown in the first minute of the fight. I don't want to see him standing at all with Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira can catch this man very, very early. And I just believe he shouldn't stand up with this guy. I know a lot of people are saying that, and it's completely true. If Ankalaev decides to stand up with Alex Pereira, I see this fight going to Alex Pereira within 2 rounds, quite literally within 2 rounds. Alex Pereira's stand up is just in another level against the light heavyweight division. Alex Pereira now. I believe Alex Pereira, if you gave me a ultimatum and told me which one would you pick to save your life, your soul, on this fight, I would probably pick Ankalaev. I'm not gonna. I would probably pick Ankalaev. Now, the interesting thing is, before I get into like more in depth about Alex Pereira, I really don't understand what Ankalaev's goal is about tweeting that he signed his death certificate on Twitter. This guy he's acting a little weird, and I don't understand the goal here, because why would you get him mad or not get him mad? You know what I'm saying? So even if he does or not says that, I guess he's trying to sell the fight, but this fight is already big enough, if I'm being completely honest, because a lot of people were pushing the narrative that Alex Pereira was ducking him, and I kind of believe that. I kind of believe that. Alex Pereira was going to fight Ankalaev no matter what. But I do believe that he was delaying this fight because he knew this fight was his hardest fight in this division. But yeah, I don't know what Ankalaev is doing, trying to get him riled up. Alex Pereira is gonna do Alex Pereira. Just focus on yourself, Ankalaev. Stop talking shit on Twitter, because if you lose this fight and you start talking about he signed his death certificate and all this shit, you will be the next Jamal Hill, bro. Even though I myself don't hate Jamal Hill, a lot of people do, man. A lot of people do. I don't want you to go that route, my boy. Just stay focused. Please shoot a takedown on the first minute. Have him at least at least do like a Merab and just start throwing takedowns. I know nobody can do what Merab does, but I'm saying in a sense, just shoot a takedown to shoot a takedown. At least, even if you're not gonna take him down, have him thinking that you're gonna freaking shoot it at least, bro. Cause this guy's stand up, after I fought Jiri, after I saw Jiri and Hill fight, I my eyes open. I was like, how good is Alex Pereira? How good is Alex Pereira on the fucking feet? It's absolutely insane, the difference when Jiri fights Alex and Jiri fights Hill. Even though I think Hill has one of the worst on the feet movement I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy he quite literally walks. He doesn't even fight. He just walks and waddles to you. But anyways, yeah, Alex Pereira just looks, it just, he makes people look like amateurs. It's absolutely insane the way Alex Pereira makes people fight. But yeah, my pick is going to be Ankalaev. It's going to be a unanimous decision. It's going to be a very, very boring fight. Just going to hold him against the cage, if I'm being completely honest. Take him down, do a little, do a little, just little shots on the ground. It's not going to be that big. I don't think there's going to be a big moment on the fight. And if there is a big moment on the fight, I believe Alex Pereira is probably going to tag Ankalaev. He might be wobbled a little bit, but he's going to shoot for a takedown, if I'm being completely honest. It's crazy to say that, because I feel like if he does tag him, Ankalaev will just go to sleep, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I only see if it's a big moment. I don't see Ankalaev tagging Alex Pereira. I will be surprised. I mean, he could do it, obviously. This is the light heavyweight division, but I don't see Ankalaev tagging Alex Pereira and him going out cold, if I'm being completely honest. I do see Alex Pereira doing it to him for sure, but I don't see Ankalaev doing it to him, even though he has the ability to. His stand-up is just too good compared to the Ankalaev. And if you don't believe me, please go check out Alex Pereira's last two fights and then Ankalaev's Rakic fight. It's absolutely mind-blowing, the difference between these two. But yeah, Ankalaev by decision, boring fight. Let's move on to the co-main event. Now, this fight is very, very interesting, to say the least, because oh my gosh, this is just sad, if I'm being completely honest. Look, I feel like this is a very good fight that Dan Hooker took. It's a very good fight. I feel like this fight was the easiest for him to climb the rankings, and freak, oh my gosh, this is just looking at Gaethje's face, man. It's just kind of sad. I feel like Gaethje's soul is not there anymore. I feel like the CTE just took over. Even though these two have like definitely the CTE problems, I just feel bad for Gaethje, man. I know these people are fighters, they're warriors, but it gets to the point. This guy Justin Gaethje is gonna be the next Al Kukui, if I'm being completely honest. He's gonna be the next Tony Ferguson. Let's be real. This guy's gonna be the next Tony Ferguson. I don't want this guy to stay in the sport for long. If he gets knocked out by Dan Hooker, which I don't think he's going to do, I feel like Dan Hooker is gonna submit him in the later rounds by like rear naked choke. If Justin Gaethje gets knocked out by Dan fucking Hooker, I need him to retire. I'm just gonna say how it is. I need him to retire. I give Dan Hooker, or I give Justin Gaethje no chance on winning this fight. I feel like Justin Gaethje is just on a downwards momentum, even though every time he gets freaking knocked out cold, he somehow just wins his next few fights for some reason. That's like a thing, but I feel like it's time. I feel like he's at an age that it's time to decline. It's just time for your body to rest. It's over, is what I'm trying to say. He might stay in the UFC still, get a few wins, but they're just gonna be minor wins. I think this is his fall off moment right here, boys. He's still gonna be an exciting fighter, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this is where he starts declining, starts letting the other generation just take over little by little, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be Dan Hooker, rear naked choke in the, let's see, in the 4th round. Should be rear naked choke in the 4th round, 3rd or 4th round, rear naked choke, Dan Hooker. And that's gonna be it for today's card. The card for some reason here is not entire, like I can't see the undercard and all that stuff for some reason, but I was still only gonna do these 2. I'm very freaking excited for the Ankalaev and Pereira fight. I don't know, bro. Look, like I was saying, man, if Ankalaev doesn't go for this freaking takedown in the 1st minute of the fight, I'm gonna be very pissed, because I feel like this could be a very dominant, easy fight for him to win. And he needs the star power. He really does, bro. Because even when I went to Twitter and checked this guy out, like I was like, where does this guy even have a Twitter? Does this guy have social media? The reason he hasn't gotten this fight earlier is because this guy got no star power. And since Alex Pereira right now is a literal juggernaut of star power, the problem with this is, even if Ankalaev does win against Alex Pereira, his star power won't, a lot of star power won't transfer to Ankalaev, because most of the star power that Alex Pereira has is just Brazilian, and people are just not gonna start loving Ankalaev because they beat a Brazilian. You know, they're not just gonna switch fan bases to a Russian, if I'm being completely honest. But Ankalaev, shoot a fucking takedown, bro. Shoot a takedown. If I don't see this man shoot a freaking takedown the 1st minute of the fight, I'm gonna be so freaking pissed. Anyways, I'm gonna be ending it there. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button so you don't miss any more content. And with that being said, I'll see everyone very soon. Goodbye.